fall.
Hey, the bike's gonna fall. How's it going? Chris Kiefer, Eddie Larrett. Build your own SR. So we just did a garage build for Racer X, but I thought we would come here and let you know how to build your own without all the bling like Eddie did. Because Eddie put a lot of stuff on here that I don't think you need, like titanium.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You don't need titanium. But of course, if you're a vet guy, you want to look cool. Why? Hold on. So Eddie Larrett, why did you put titanium on?
I just love the look of titanium bolts. They clean up, they don't get dull, they don't round.
So it's like
off.
a super hot chick that you just you just
it's like, hey, check it out. It's like a 6 chick with no boobs, right? So she's smoking hot, but she's kind of flat.
Okay.
So you just put the boobs on to get her to the 9. So that's like a Cowie, Honda, Yamaha. Like it's just they're bad looking motorcycles that you just put the tie on.
Some guys are boob guys, some guys are butt guys.
Okay, so you can do butt implants too.
Okay, got it. All right, so 2025 KX450. Little mods that will help your bike out there. Look, we talked about this in the Racer X garage build. The KX450 is the slowest of all 450s, and that can be a negative and can be a positive. A negative in the fact that in certain tight areas of the track, it doesn't have a lot of recovery and it's pretty slow, so it can feel heavy. Positive in the fact that it's easy to manage. If you're scared of 450 power, the KX450 is quite nice to handle around the track. I think I was guilty of calling this like a 350 back in the day. I'm gonna put another YouTube video up later this week about the KTM 350 versus the KX450 and the differences between the two, but for me it still has that crank inertia 450 feel, a little bit heavier. The 350 spools up really quick. It's exciting. This has more excitement now because we have a Vortex that's mapped for VPT4. We have a Pro Circuit Tie 6 Pro, even though the sticker right here doesn't say Pro. And if some of you guys are wondering why the Pro, just sounds better, has more back pressure. I like it, but if they don't have it in stock, you run the Tie 6, it's just a little bit louder.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add to the motor portion of it?
Airbox.
220 pounds.
Airbox mods provided by Chad at XPR Motorsports. So the airbox is all cut up. It's got a, which I don't think is much of a horsepower increase. The twin air power flow kit, since Cowie kind of mirrored it this year and fixed that on the 25.
You know what'd be cool? Can we take the seat off and show them the airbox? You keep talking about your bike. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so we did the airbox mods, which like I said we'll show you, but yeah, my idea with this build, I started this build before Kawasaki released an SR. We might have had a tip off that there was going to be one coming, but I still wanted to build my version of an SR, so that's what I did. So a lot of the stuff, is it really 100% needed, like the triple clamps? No, it's not, but it is coming on the SR, as you can see now. So that's some of the stuff on the bike, you know, like Chris said, it's not really needed, but I wanted to give it that factory look, you know. So the coating on the forks, we use Precision Works for that. REP did all the suspension for me. We got all kinds of coatings, Cerakote all over the brakes, the lower lugs, the primary case here is all Cerakote water pump. We went to the Moto Hose factory kit, they call it. It actually reduces the big metal tube that goes from here all the way across, and it's now a whole Y radiator hose kit. And then it also moves the water temperature sensor back here, so it's not in the middle of the hose where it is stock. So that's actually, for me, that's not just a, you know, like, oh cool, check it out, I got blue hoses on my bike. There's actually performance enhancing parts there, and it also it helps, you know, with a failure, potential failure. So that was kind of most of the stuff with this bike, you know, that we did that was a benefit to just making it look like a works motorcycle.
So the main thing for me and why I put this on the heading of build your own SR, it's mostly suspension. Obviously the new SR comes with coatings, a little bit different setting. For me also, the muffler makes a big difference on the Kawasaki. For you guys out there that need a muffler, in the world of 450s, most of the time stock mufflers are just fine, but the KX450 muffler really does plug up this bike, and an aftermarket muffler really does enhance the power. So just the muffler alone is actually worth the price of the muffler. Usually you can't say that with 450s nowadays. I mean, you put a muffler on a YZ450, it doesn't really help anywhere besides maybe make it a little bit smoother and easier to ride. So Gerbil can get in right here and check out the airbox. So basically you're taking a lot of this stuff off. You're gonna get some more airflow through here, but obviously this is a big spot that we cut out in here and then the sides, right?
Yeah, you can see right down here, there's a big cutout right here on the side of it. And then this is where the original rubber flap used to be, right here, where they, you know, we remove it, and then you extend this cut mark all the way up to here, all the way down. So this opens this whole area up. And then we also shave the side of the box right here to get more airflow coming in the side. So it's 3 major cuts to open the airbox up.
So let's say you don't get a vortex. It's expensive, I get it, $1,000. That's fine. Get a muffler, cut out your airbox, and that's a huge improvement right then for the KX450. Look, you're gonna have a better power from just that alone than anything else you're gonna buy for the engine. Look, the ECU does help. You'll get more power everywhere, more low end, more pulling power in the mid-range, and of course the rev cut will be a little bit higher, which is nice. But no matter what you do, this is never going to be a 3rd gear luggable machine like a Yamaha. We went to a 51 tooth rear sprocket on this. Eddie's 220,
35,
235. So we need to go up 1 for the Jody. We call it the Jody because that's what they say. MXA wants 1 tooth up on everything. Which sometimes works, and for this case it did work. Little things that I don't like, that I like to bust Eddie's chops about, is a twin wall bar. He loves crossbars. I'm a crossbarless kind of guy. That is too stiff for my liking. I do like full waffle soft grips though. That is a nice touch.
Yeah.
I feel like you switched recently.
No, I've been on it since the Yamaha build.
You should talk about the clamps.
Yep, I talked about them.
You should talk about the stiffness.
Yeah, so like I said, it's not, I would not put it as a performance enhancing. It does have a more rigid, stiff feel to it, which I personally like on the Cowie, because the Cowie the new chassis on the Cowie is a little bit to the softer side. So I think the front end, the stiffer front end, just makes the bike a little more predictable for me. But yeah, that was kind of my input on the clamps. It's not, I've ridden the 24 and the 25 with the stock clamps, and they're very comparable. This one just has, for me, just a little more lean angle feel on the front tire.
For a garage build that we mostly do on these race tracks, this is probably one of the most inexpensive builds that we've done. It just looks a lot blingy. Obviously titanium stuff, all that is just because Eddie likes that kind of thing. But for me, muffler, ECU, airbox cut, take it or leave it on the clamp. I have tested aftermarket clamps that are stiffer than stock clamps that actually help comfort. In the world of chassis and feeling around the track, some clamps like stiffness, some clamps like a little bit softer feeling than the stock ones that they come with. In this case, the Cowie does like a stiffer nature clamp. Ride Engineering has a good clamp. There's X-Trig. Luxon has a clamp. I haven't tried that clamp per se, but for me, a clamp for me, I will say it could be performance enhancing if you get the right one. It could get you a little bit more comfort, so that helps. Hinson clutch basket. Stock clutch on the Cowie is not great. For a hydraulic clutch, it fades. It moves under load when it gets hot. I'll be under load, you can pan right here. So you're coming out of a corner, accelerating, you'll feel your lever start to creep into your grip, and this is what this does. I don't know if you felt that before, Eddie.
Never.
But I drag my clutch a lot to keep the front end down, so I'll feel this pulsate a little bit when I ride. Going to the full Hinson system alleviates that and makes your clutch last a little bit longer in the moto. I'll be honest, it's still not the best clutch to date that I've felt on a 450, but it does help that clutch life a little bit more. Pretty much it looks, he has 2 stiffer rims on it. I'm out on the A60s. It's too stiff. We got twin walls, we got A60s. I'm out. Let's go to a DID, STX, LTX. That's fine, that's plenty stiff enough. But this is what you ran.
You're Supercross bike, dude.
Yeah.
It's my Supercross.
It's gonna be Prado's bike next year, right? We're just gonna change the number.
Yeah, we gotta get new numbers.
But Kawasaki is one of the most fun 450s that, for me to ride in 2024, 2025. It's easy to ride. It has good front tire contact. I've never thought I would say this about a Kawasaki, but it corners better than a Yamaha. You have more front end bite, so if you're a front end steering guy, the Kawasaki is better for you in that direction. The Yamaha is a little bit vague, rides high up in the stroke a little bit, but this actually bites to the ground fairly well. I just was on a test in Europe, and one of the comparison bikes was a Kawasaki, and I did rank that Kawasaki one of the best on corner bite, initial lean. So this bike does this very well. So for me, good looking bike, clean graphics. I like that stock looking graphic. And if you want to know more about this build, go to racerxonline.com in a few weeks. There's gonna be a full, I don't know, probably 20 minutes about this bike and what we done. But here are some things you can do to your bike to make it an SR. See you on the next YouTube video.